How's it going? Dave from Comic Book Investments. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys exactly how to package up each type of comic book, whether it be a single comic book like this, or it'll be a CGC book like this. I'll show you exactly how, what materials you need, and also show you different cheaper options in case you want different options and you don't want to spend a ton of money for like nice bubble wrap and things like that. So let's get into it. First, all you kind of need is you need some normal Scotch tape, then some packing tape. You need these cardboard pads, and these are about 11 by 8.5, 9 inches. They are roughly around 36 cents. You can find them a little cheaper if you buy them in bulk. You can get these on Amazon. I get these on Uline, but that's a West Coast thing. So if you're East Coast or Middle US, it might cost a little more, but that's where I get them. There's also another company local to me that gives me free shipping, and they're actually cheaper than Uline, but Uline's just seems to be more reliable. So yes, so you're gonna need this. And so let's package up. Let's start with the single comic book, right? So first, you wanna have bag and backer board. I'm sure you guys know where to get that. Next, there's multiple ways to do it. So depending on the value of the book, I ship it differently. So if someone wants it first class or medium mail, now the thing with medium mail is you cannot have an advertisement in it. But sometimes these comics are so old that the advertisements, they're not really an advertisement anymore. Like sometimes old golden age stuff, you can buy a monkey. Yes, a live monkey. It's like $5 or something like that, and it's guaranteed to be alive. So if you get a dead monkey, send it back and you'll get a live one. So sometimes you can get away with the medium mail. But let's pretend this is a cheaper comic, because some people want, they want cheaper shipping. So I'll put it in between these two cardboard pads, right? So you got two of them. So as you can see, there's plenty of room, top and bottom. And what you do is you tape all four sides. Now, a lot of people think, this is not, it's not going to be sturdy or anything. Trust me, I've done this for years. They never really slip out. So just make sure it's nice and tight, rub it over. If you feel like you want to use packing tape, you can use packing tape. I've never found the need. I will then tape all four corners again, or like the middle, more of the middle. As you can see here, I'm taping just in the middle again. Now this is for a cheaper book. This is what I recommend if you're selling something that's like, I don't know, maybe $25 or something like that. Okay, then you need the box. This box right here, it folds on all four corners, but it's also perforated. So you could technically fold it multiple different sizes. As you can see, I'm folding each side like this. So you got, you can fold it this, so it's this size, or you can make it bigger and you can fold it so it's that size, right? So this has different levels. And this cost me about 75 cents. I get this on Uline as well. There's also, like I said, a local company. It's a little cheaper, but less unreliable. So you could probably find these on Amazon as well. They're basically just called mailers. Anyways, so you take this and then you just pretty much put it inside. That's all you pretty much do. And there you go. You got your mailer. It's very sturdy, trust me. Especially, it also has to come to do with weight. So if you have a bunch more comics in there, it weighs a lot more. So if it ever drops, like the mailman drops it or something like that, it's going to do more damage. So the more books you have, it ends up weighing more, you need to get a bigger box. But this is just for one comic. Then all I do is I simply just tape the sides. I tape here, tape across here, tape across here, just a full length piece. Then you're ready to go. And that's how I do one single book that's not very expensive. Now, let's say you're selling a single comic book, ungraded, not CGC, and it's more expensive. Well, this is what I get for the more expensive. So if it's more expensive, I send it priority, because then it automatically gives it some insurance up to $100, and it gives you tracking and all that good stuff. This is called the 1097. This is on USPS's website, the post office's website, for free. Now, remember that you can get this stuff for free, but it has to be priority. They'll send you the boxes for free. You can get all post office boxes for free. Another thing, in case you don't want to spend, the 50 cents, 60 cents to get these pads, what you can do is you can then get these boxes for free and then cut them to size. So if you have a little more time on your hands and you don't want to spend the money on this, or whatever it is, the reason, you can basically cut these boxes to size. Oops. And then you have, you'll cut one box, that'll be one side, cut another box, another side. And just make sure it's kind of thick. And sometimes you can cut multiple of these boxes. And there you go. You got a free, basically cardboard pad. So if I'm sending something a little more expensive, I'll then take this free box, right? And basically, these go down, and it has a little pull tab here with some glue. But trust me, this glue does not stick at all. So you'll want to tape. Once you put your glue down, you want to tape, wrap it over, right? I'll show you exactly what I mean. You take the piece of tape, half on the top, half on the bottom, boom, there you go. Now it's sealed. You want to do that top and bottom. Then you need packing material. Now there's many different ways you can go with packing material. There is this basically paper, packing paper. You scrunch it up and you put it in there. If you don't want to spend money on packing paper, use those newspaper ads that you get in the mail every single day that no one ever looks at. Right? So put some newspaper in there, put some, just some paper that you have lying around. Everyone has paper somewhere. Put that in, you can use that instead. Or you can use bubble wrap. So with bubble wrap, the way I like to do it is I'll take the book, right? If you want to spend a little more, I will put a piece of tape here so it secures it. And then you just, wrap it and wrap it and wrap it, so on and so forth. Then you're going to tape this down. Sometimes I'll use packing tape on this because it's better, and you'll tape the top and the bottom, and then it's nice and sturdy, leaving some extra room here. So you'll put it like this so it protects the top and bottom. You can throw that in there in this box, or you can put some more packing material in there if there's some extra room. But you want to use, for a single book, once again, this is the 1097. If you look at the size of this box, it's about this big. The reason why you want a smaller box for something this size is so there's not a lot of room to move around. Because there is another box called the 1095. This is slightly wider and slightly taller. There, can you see? Slightly wider, slightly taller. So I wouldn't recommend this box for a single book. No. You want to use, this is the, what I say, it's the 1095. The 1095. Again, these are free on their website. You just literally go on there, make a free account, have it delivered to you. You can get as many of these as you want. I use tons of them. I use this right here. So I use this for CGC books. So I already showed you how to pack up a single book. So now, how do I pack up a CGC book? Now, of course, this is for a single CGC book. Just basically bubble wrap this up, right? I don't need to go show you how to bubble wrap. Bubble wrap this up. I will then take packing peanuts or this paper. I'll put it on the tops and the bottoms. Put this, make sure this is very nice and secure. Tons of bubble wrap. I don't have enough here, but I just grabbed some to show you. And then I slide that in. Now, what if you have a very expensive book, right? Very expensive CGC book. Well, that's what I use this box for. Most of my CGC books I send are going to be in this. Most of them. Very rarely do I use the 1095, but I do. I do use it from time to time. Depends on the value of the book. The more expensive the book, the more, because it costs more. Because I usually send that one post office, and then I'll send the more expensive stuff FedEx. So I can't use a post office box if I send it to FedEx because they won't allow that. So I have to buy my own brown boxes. These are 16 by 12 by 4, so that means, so usually I send my more expensive stuff FedEx because A, it costs more, and I don't know, I just feel like overall they're a little better service. But I also send post office, and if I send post office, it can't be that expensive. If it's too expensive, I refuse to send it postal, and I'll use this 1095s. Once again, same thing. I will take the paper, I will make a layer of paper on the bottom. Usually 4 of these sheets. So I'll take 4 of these sheets, crumple them up, put them on the bottom. I then wrap the thing in bubble wrap. Put it in there, and then put paper on the top of there. Close it up. We got ourselves a box. All good to go. Strong and sturdy, like I said. So these boxes right here, I get on Uline. You can get them anywhere. These are $1 for these boxes. Obviously, the more you buy, the cheaper it is. But yeah, so that's how I do that. So that's, and you can fit, you know, a few CGC books in here, like 3. After 3, I have another box that is a little taller, and you know, I'll fit more. So what to do if you have multiple comics, right? This is what I do. I'll flip the top one over, line them all up, tape them all to each other. Okay, so then once you have this all taped up, I like to put it in a little bag. That way there's no real movement around it. Then you can tape the bag. Once you have the bag taped, top, bottom, all this kind of stuff, now it's in the bag, you put it in the cardboard. You tape it to the cardboard, you take the cardboard on top of each other, then it's good. Now you got your little package. Well, what do you do with that? Well, you don't want to throw it in one of those, you know, mailers. So you can put it in a medium flat rate. But here's the thing with the medium flat rate. Again, these are free on their website. Do not get the cubed kind. I don't have any to show you, but basically it looks like a square. Don't get that, because this is exactly the size of the medium flat rate. I can't tell you how many times, because it is so close together, because it gets heavy when there's a lot of books. And so the heavier it is, when it falls heavier than if there's like one book in there. And it will get banged on the sides of the box, which then bangs the sides of this, which then bangs the sides of this. So don't ever use the cubed kind. Use this one right here. It's thicker than your standard 1095 and 1097. It's not as tall as the 1095, but it's taller than the 1097. And then you just put it in this box. You can fit quite a few in here. If there's more than, and then you put packing material, of course, right? Got to put your packing material. If you have paper, paper. If you have peanuts, peanuts. If you have bubble wrap, use bubble wrap. If it gets to a point where you have too many comic books, say like, depending on the size of the comic book, but let's say 20 and more, then you can go to a large flat rate, which you can use the cubed kind because that's all they have for a large flat rate. But it's huge. It's huge. So they fit in there nice and snug. It's the same as like that brown box, but it's big. That's the large flat rate. Depending on the prices, depending on where you live, shipping is different. So if I ship to the East Coast, it's more expensive than if I just ship to somewhere, that's near me. But it usually, for the priority box, is going to be 1 to 3 days. This mailer, and you ship, first class, you're looking at 2 to 7 days. Medium mail is 2 to 9 days, but it's usually the same as first class. And then, of course, if you have the brown box, if I'm shipping that FedEx, it all depends on what the customer wants to pay for it. They have 2-day shipping. They have 4-day. They have next day. All sorts of stuff. So it really depends on how soon the customer wants to get it. But most of the time, or something like that, inexpensive book, I will send it in this mailer, and they usually get it between 2 and 7 days, depending where they live. Prices vary. I will say that medium mail is around $3 to $4 to ship, depending on where they live and where you live. First class for a single book is around $5 to $6. One book in here, in the 1095 or 1097, excuse me, that is usually going to run you around $8 to $10. And then medium flat rate is, I believe medium flat rate is $15.99, and then large flat rate is $19.99. So that pretty much covers everything. And that's all you need to know about shipping. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you learned something, and have a good day.